You were here just a minute ago. You know what time it is. It's Renovation Nation time. Dun, dun. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Coming at you live from Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Whoo, yeah, sitting here with James Rabun today. I'm Chad Rowland, host of this crazy show. Reminding you, if it's time for your annual roof inspection, attic inspection, gutters, soffit, fascia. And if you don't know what gutters, soffit, or fascia are, and I'm sure you know what gutters are, but soffit or fascia or things like that, you can go to our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, just go to our website, rtmroofing.com, and you'll see a couple videos on there. Click on them, find us at A Standard Conversation, and we've got a lot of information out there. I got shows about, you can watch the whole show about fascia and some soffits and all that. So, but nevertheless, if it is that time to get your inspection, and why not do it now that the kids are back in school? You got time. You already shelled out all the cash for that, and we know that wasn't cheap. That get your roof inspected so you know you're getting into the fall and winter and the holidays and not have to worry about something dripping on your table. Call RTM Roofing at 615-500-0751 500 0751 again, or go to rtmroofing.com, and you know all the needs. And now attic insulation needs, because I'm telling you, the heat's brutal right now. Heat is brutal, and the one thing about insulation, and I'm sitting here with James Rabun, that the one thing I realized is that the roof will improve the value of the property, because it's protecting the property. Right. It's appreciating, even though it's depreciating by insurance standards, it appreciates the value of your property. Right. But over time, well, insulation will appreciate the energy use, or depreciate the energy you're using to keep it hot or cold. Right. And you'll actually see more of an immediate return on that. Now, I'm still doing my math because they won't give you any numbers in this industry because of windows and doors. And if you put it to an R38 or an R40, they can tell you basically that, but they can't account for everything else. They don't know who did your walls and all that. But when your whole footprint in your house is above your head, and you get it back to at least codes, because anything that's been sitting there for 10, 15 years or longer, and it was blown in, it's compressed. Okay, yeah. And the thing I've learned, and was learnt, as I like to say, they learnt me, is that it's the same mass. It's the same material. Material didn't go anywhere, but it had air pockets in it, and air has an R value. That's true. It's an insulator. So, yes, you went from 13 and a half inches down to 9. Right. You're not an R38 anymore. Even though it's the same material and it's compressed, you're not an R38, you're like an R20. Right. And that's much like we was talking about AI and exponential, that's an exponential drop in protection from the heat either getting into your house or out of your house. Yep. And we all know heat rises. Yep. And so it's going to go above your head. Then when your attic fills up with all that heat and you're not properly ventilated, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a lot of words in here right now real quick, that it's going to draw into your house. Right. And so... yeah, and then that does nothing nowadays with the way stuff costs. I mean, I went to Kroger's the other day. No offense, Kroger's, but dadgum. I know, It wasn't a full cart, Kroger's. Yeah, no. It wasn't full. Man, I remember when I used to go and spend $100 somewhere at the grocery store, and not a full cart. 150. Yeah. 150, and you were loaded. You knew it was going to be a big bill. Yeah. But now it's like you got half a cart, and you're at $375. Right. And I'll go like once every... about 2 months, because I'll freeze milk. I like my milk, right? Yeah. That's one of my things I'm not giving up. They can kill me first. But
I do chocolate milk.
I like chocolate. They say chocolate milk's better than whole milk, or not whole milk, but white milk. But but nevertheless, that I'll freeze it, buy it in half gallons, and hey, today it's going to be cheaper a day than it is 3 months from now or 2 months from now. Usually, the way things been going on. So the housing market, let's get back to that. You're sitting here with James Rabun with the Homestead Group. Yes, sir. Real estate. That's residential, I'm assuming. Yes, or do you do commercial or just straight residential?
Just straight real estate. I am getting into like leasing and stuff like that too. As far as I met a guy the other day who was here for a job interview in Nashville, and he, we got to talking, and he was like, "Yeah, if I get the job, I'm going to be moving here real soon." And I was like, "Man, I'm a real estate agent. Let me know if I can help you." And he texted me like a couple of days when he got back home. He's like, "I got the job, so I need you to help me out." And I was like, we just signed a lease the other day at a a new house in Brentwood. So
when you say lease, that's like renting or whatever,
renting,
right?
yeah. I'm helping people like that, and helping people sign leases downtown. All the big apartments and things like that. So
I'll tell you one thing I realized. We was talking about AI. AI in the management world of renting now is a wild thing. A buddy of mine was renting a place, and used to you'd send in your bank statements and whatever, so they can see who you are and all this and that. Well, you can't send the bank statements anymore. They want access to your bank.
Yeah.
And my personal opinion is to see what you're doing. It's not that, hey, there's money there, but hey, we've determined, because there's no emotion,
your money.
How are you spending your money?
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty wild? That blew my mind real quick. I'm like, what do you mean? That's that's
a little personal.
That is a little personal, but I don't think we got a choice. Or sleep under a bridge. But what amazed me was in Davis County, and even just Middle Tennessee in general, the rent. The rent's higher than most mortgages.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's just, I wouldn't have survived from 1990 to 95 when I was living off Bell Road.
Heck no. Definitely the rent is, it's like almost 3 times as much as my mortgage. It's crazy.
So would you, I guess it all depends on what you're doing. But would you, in other words, you should buy something if you can afford that much. But that gets the down payments and PMI. And
well, now, honestly, it's, mortgage, like, as me and you, we got lower interest rates because we bought earlier. Yeah. But now with these high interest rates, it's almost equal now.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, you are right.
Yeah.
I was, Brendan.
Yeah.
I had him on the show. It's been a while. He's supposed to be coming back on. I've got to get him on.
Yeah. I had lunch with him not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, heck! Now you should have texted me. I would have given him some heck. But we were talking back then. After we moved in where we're at here, he about 1.5 years, 2 years later said, "Hey," because it was down to like 3% or 2 point whatever it was, and he's like, "You need to refinance." And I was like, "Well, Brendan, if I refinance this, how much am I going to save? Because it's basically going to eat up what we've already got down out of principal, right? That would be about the closing cost." And it was big 6 digits. And I was like, all right, let's get this done. If I live 34 years, I'm going to save what? It was a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's sort of one of those things like now you couldn't afford the house now. If I sold it, I can't buy it back.
Yeah,
unless
exactly.
I've got just a bunch of cash on the side.
Yeah. I sold my old house, 3 or 4 years ago, and there's no way I could buy that house back.
Isn't that wild?
Not at all.
And the farther you go out, it doesn't get much less expensive anymore.
Not anymore.
Not after COVID, or after the C word, I guess we call it now. We're not supposed to mention that word. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, me neither.
But the point is that changed the dynamics of the outliers out moving out farther. So where are you seeing where's a lot of your zones right now? Do you have a range that you sell in or get people stuff in, like Davis County, or what's your...
No, I'm helping people everywhere, man.
All right.
Yeah, there's no boundaries. I guess my only boundary is Tennessee. So, the line that, makes our great state.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Same here. I tell people, we can work anywhere in the state.
Right.
Just the farther we get outside Davis County and surrounding counties, the more expensive we're going to be.
Right.
It's time. They drive to Chattanooga. I've
Right,
done it.
yeah.
I've done it.
To Knoxville I've driven Knoxville to show a house. I've driven to, west and south.
Oh, but you make all that money, James. You don't do anything. Y'all realtors make too much money.
Right,
it's 6%, 3%, 5%. I don't know. It's too many percentages. Yeah, you don't do anything. The only thing
saving me money right now is my Tesla. So.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I know we're getting ready to jump out of this segment right here, but when we come back, I know you've got some things you want to talk about.
Sure.
We've been killing a little bit of time having some fun, but I want to get into some meat and potatoes of what you drove all the way up to the hill for, up to Studio 378.
I came to see you, man.
I enjoy it. And you got Miss Libby sitting in your lap.
Right, yeah. This is my homie right here.
Sitting here with James Rabun of Homestead Realty. The Homestead Group. And we come back, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of what he's got going on and how he can help you. Yeah, you listen to Renovation Nation. See you in 3.